Hello there, this hour on Verbling. The next in my Grammar Garage series, we're doing fun with phrasals. That's right, phrasal verbs. We're working on phrasal verbs like bring and take, as in bring up and take out, and many more. And what we're going to do is do a review of the phrasal verbs that we've recently learned, and then we're going to try to put them to use. We'll do a little bit of practice, and then we're going to try to use them to tell the story or to take a story that we know and rephrase it using some of the key phrasal verbs in today's class. That's a bit about the class. Here's a bit about me. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so that we can keep the classroom nice and quiet. Tune in to the new words you're learning when you are speaking so that I can correct you. Use them actively so I can give you feedback on how you use them. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. In the chat window right now, you'll see a link. Hopefully you can see that. You'll see a link to our presentation. I'm going to open that as well. Let me get my screen on. And what we're going to do is return to our first set of phrasal verbs. I'll show it to you in just a second. Give me a second. There we go. So we're going to return to our very first set of phrasal verbs right now. But you can open that link if you want to download this to your computer. Maybe it's easier to see. And there we go. Can you see that okay, Alessia? Grammar Garage?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fun with phrasals. That's today. Phrasal verbs.
Hard work.
Say again?
Hard work.
Hard work. Well, no, we're going to make it easy. We're going to make it easy. First of all, last week at the same time, we got an introduction to phrasal verbs with bring and take. So what we're going to do is we're going to first review what we learned. That's our first step. If you weren't here, I don't think you were here, don't worry about it. It'll be an introduction. And then we're going to try to use it in a very active way in the second part of class. Look at the prepositions at the bottom of the page. Do you see them?
Yep.
At, round, about, all of those?
Down, up, off.
That's right. To raise. I was brought blank in the country. What do you think? You can only use one. To raise, to educate,
up.
To raise. Brought up, she says. Okay, I'm going to put your answers in the chat window. To succeed, don't give up. I'm sure you'll bring it blank. If you're not sure, just guess. No. Okay. Let's see if Ishmael knows it.
About, could be.
She said, welcome back. She says bring about. Okay, we'll put that there. Remember, we can only use those prepositions one time. To cause something to begin, to cause something to start. Cold winds always bring blank her cough. What do you think? Ishmael, you take this one. Remember, we can only...
Are we talking?
The cold winds always bring blank her cough. Number 3. Remember, you can only use the prepositions at the bottom of the page one time. Alessia has used up, and Alessia has used about. She might be right, she might be wrong.
Bring up her cough.
You say bring up. Well, Alessia already used up, so I can't use bring up again. She already used it. Choice number
Sorry,
two.
Ismail.
Choice number two.
Bring, always bring in.
There's no in. Look at the bottom of the page. It's out, round, about, on, back.
Oh,
It's
okay.
only those. And so far in the chat window, you can see we've used up and about. Now, we don't want to use up. About, I don't know if I agree completely with about. Not so sure. If you're not sure, pass it back to Alessia. Pass to Alessia.
I try with off. Bring off.
Bring it off. Okay, we'll find out soon. We're going to do this really quickly, okay? So it doesn't really matter if you're right or wrong, because the key idea here is that you get the right answers after one guess, okay? So we're going to go really fast because we've got two sets of phrasal verbs to learn. Number 4, to cause something to happen. The strike brought blank, a change of government. Who wants it?
I have to change the second sentences because I see there is an A, so it's about, bring about a change of government.
Okay, so we're going to go up. Second one we don't know yet. The third one right now is off. The next one is about. I'm going to write this in the chat window and then I'll post it in a second. To reintroduce, I hope they don't bring blank, capital punishment. Capital punishment is when you kill a prisoner. I hope they don't bring blank, capital punishment. Who wants it? Who wants it?
Bring.
I think it's down.
She says bring down. Do you agree?
Bring up, maybe.
You say bring up. Uh-oh. We got two complete. We can't say bring up. We've used up already. We can't use up. Can't use up. I don't know. Maybe I can write on this and I can cross them out as we do it. Hold on a second. Maybe I can draw. If I can, that'll make life a little easier. Can I draw on this? I can strike out. Let's see. Oh, look at that. I can strike out. Okay, so let's see what we've done so far. We've used up. I'm going to cross that off. Up now has a red line through it. We've used off, but I don't know if I agree about that. We've used about. I absolutely agree that bring about is right. And we've used what? Just those three. And so now we have to just decide if it's down or not. The strike brought, no, what was it? I hope they don't bring down capital punishment, meaning to reintroduce. Do we agree or disagree?
I agree.
I agree. Okay, we're gonna go with down for now. We'll see. Okay, to lower, they promised to bring blank taxes. They promised to bring blank taxes, but have they? Remember, you're only bring down for that. So that means we've used down, which means we can't use it for the other one. That means I hope they don't bring down capital punishment is wrong. So what should it be? I hope they don't bring blank capital punishment to reintroduce. Out, round, on, or back? Going once?
Back.
Bringing back. I agree. I think that's it too. To destroy, inflation will bring blank the government.
Bring out.
Bring out the government. That means destroy, to bring out?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Okay, we'll come back to that. Ford are bringing blank in interesting new model in the spring. It means to introduce.
Round.
Bringing round, Ishmael says. Let's see. And the last one, to persuade. keep at it and you'll bring him blank. Oh, you can see a little D there at the bottom. Bring him blank to your point of view. Well, if the word ends with a D, guess what that means? It's got to be round. So we're missing on and about. But don't worry, because we're going to learn 2 sets of vocabulary. I'm going to give you the answers so you can see now. On the next page, you've got there you go. Brought up, bring off, bring on, bring about a change, bring back capital punishment. Bring back means to return. Bring down was correct. Bring down taxes, and bring down the government means destroy. Bringing out an interesting new model means to introduce a new model. Bring him round, which was we got from the context, means to persuade. Okay, which of these phrasal verbs, what's the most difficult phrasal verb from this list?
Bring out.
Bring out. So for Yuki, it's bring out. Okay, I want to know what each of you think. Bring out for Yuki. Alessia, what?
Oh, well, I made a disaster.
But which one is the most difficult? You got to pick one.
Bring off, maybe.
Bring off for Ishmael. Okay, Ishmael, he's adopting bring.
I think bring down could be.
Bring down. Okay.
Bring down is logic, but
bring down. No, it's not a matter of logic. We're each going to adopt one phrasal verb to use later in the class. So Yuki, you're adopting bring out. Ishmael, you're adopting bring off. Alessia, you're adopting bring down. We're going to reuse these later. The second set is a short set. It's exactly the same. Doesn't he take blank his father? Look at your choices at the bottom.
Take after.
Very good. Take after is correct. I'm going to cross it off the list. I wish I could take blank. What I said to her means withdraw.
Take back.
Yuki says take back. Do we agree?
I wish I could.
Yeah.
What does withdraw mean?
Withdraw means like to remove.
Remove. But take back.
Take back. So 2 votes for take back, okay? And in fact, it's correct. I wish I could take it back. Number 3, I find it very hard to take in. I forgot to put the cover. Take in his lectures. It means absorbed. Number 4, she was completely taken blank by him. It means to deceive or to be deceived.
I don't know.
What do we think? To deceive. Taken what?
Take it two? No.
No, not take 2. Sounds weird. You've got on, up, in, off, and to. Those are your choices left. She was
maybe
taken off.
Yuki says taken in. Alessia says taken off. You're the tiebreaker, Ishmael. Is it one of those? What do you think, Ishmael?
Take. Actually, I don't know.
Well, pick one or the other to be the tiebreaker. Yuki said in, and Alessia said off. So you have to choose one. Make a guess.
In, I think.
Taken in. In fact, you are right. She was completely taken in by him, means she was deceived. So Ishmael is the lucky tiebreaker. Very good.
take in means grasp, so grasp your mind. Grasp with your mind, so you are deceived.
Taken in means grasp.
Grasp.
Why does grasp?
Take in means grasp with your mind, with the mind. So
to take in. Oh, I see. Like I'm taking it all in. I'm comprehending it. I see. Yeah, it can mean that too. Like I took
something kind of deceiving, grasping your mind.
I don't think there's any. You're absolutely right that take in means to comprehend, but I don't think there's a connection between deceive and comprehend.
Uh-huh.
Taken in means to be fooled, to be fooled, to be deceived. Who knows why it ended up meaning that? Who knows, actually? We don't. There's some historical reason we'll never know. Number, what are we on? We don't have numbers here. The next one is 1, 2,
Sales
3,
have
4,
really
5. Sales have really taken blank now.
off.
Off. On. Yuki, you're the tiebreaker. Off or on?
On.
Taken on. We'll cross it off for now. The plane took blank. Oh, that's easy.
Off.
Take off. Okay, good. She's very good at taking blank. Her teacher. That means imitate, to imitate.
Take after.
After is not a choice. We used it. We already used it. Cannot be used again.
Imitate.
Uh-oh, time's up. We'll come back to it. The next one. We'll have to take blank more staff if we're going to take blank more work. Oh, now we have a problem. What do you think this is?
Take off and take off.
We'll have to take more stuff if we want.
So we've got a problem here because either we've made a mistake,
Take on.
take on,
More
Take
stuff.
on.
but the problem there is we've used on. So that
Take on.
means
Yes.
that, well, no, but hang on.
Take on means higher.
So it's got to be take on. So then we've got a problem because that means either, that means we made a mistake before because we used on,
Yes.
and we've only got one on, and there's two blanks here. So take on more staff, take on more work. We should have two ons. So actually, that means that I made a mistake. I should have put two ons instead of one. So, two mistakes. Second to last, she took blank him at once.
Took to him.
Correct. She took to him at once. That means she liked him. Last one. When did you take blank golf? When did you start? When did you
Take up. Take up.
Take up. Okay, good. So we're missing some offs here, but don't worry, because you're going to learn them right now. Where's my offs? Boom. There you go. Take after his father. Take back what you said. Take in lectures. Be taken in by him, deceived. Take off means sales have gone up. The plane took off. The plane left the ground.
Yes. Take. Yes, we did here mistake, John.
Exactly. So
I said that off, but John.
we had to have a tiebreaker. So we got it wrong. But that's okay. Now we know. The plane took off. She's very good at taking off her teacher. That is British English, not American English. Taking off meaning imitate. We don't say that. Actually, we don't have a phrasal verb that I can think of. So that's British English for imitate. Take on more work and staff is correct. Take to was correct, and take up was correct. All right, so I made a mistake in my thing because I should have had two take-ons. I'm sorry about that. Here, it's not even worth making a guess. So I didn't give you any choices. It's not worth making a guess because these are expressions. So here you either know the expression or you don't. What I want you to do is quickly skim through this list, and if you recognize a phrase, I want you to tell me what it is, and then the ones we don't, we're going to learn together in just a second. So how many of these phrases do you recognize? Do you think you can make an educated guess for?
Bring into force.
Bring into force, I think is right. Sounds good.
Brought some very interesting facts out.
Where are we? Brought some very interesting facts out, revealed. You know what? As you say these, I'm going to write them too. Let me see if I can write here. You said out here. Yuki said bring into force. Okay. Add those. Let's see. Any others you know? You don't have to go chronologically. You can go in any order you like. And if you don't know them all, forget it. Don't worry. You'll learn them in just a second.
Take advantage of. Take
Take
advantage. Take
take
advantage. Advantage.
of you. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Advantage of you. Good.
Take for granted.
Take for granted. I took it for granted you'd
No.
come. Is that it?
I think take each other for granted. After 20 years of marriage, they take each other for granted.
After, where is it? Oh, there, I missed it. Sorry. After 20 years of marriage, they take each other for granted. Okay. Got it.
I took it for granted you to come, you can say. Okay.
It also
Next.
fits. It also fits.
It also fit, maybe.
Let's see if we can move this over and add. There we go. So, yeah, that could work. Any others?
We took part in the demonstration last Saturday. Participate, take part in.
Take part in the demonstration. Okay, good.
Happens take place. So the story takes place in Mexico. Mexico.
The story takes place. Okay. Well, we got 7, 8 more if you know them. Any others?
Take surprise. Looking after, take care of.
Take care of.
She loves to take care of small children.
I agree. Care of, good. Alessia, Ishmael?
No.
No, nothing?
No.
After, I don't know.
Okay, let's look at the answers then. We said new regulations we brought into force. Take a look. Oops, what happened? Really, I can't change the page? Hold on a second here.
Maybe next to reveal, bring light. Yes.
So, will be brought into force. Will be brought into force was correct. Will be brought some facts out. Brought some facts to light. Oh, look at that. We got it wrong. Oh, we got it wrong. Brought some facts to light. As I said, these you can't really guess. You either know them or you don't. Matters were brought to a head. Right? Instead of matters were brought blank when pat. Matters were brought to a head. The next one was it's better that everything should be brought, made public, should be brought into the open. What's the next one? Into the open. Then we had his new girlfriend has really brought blank in him. Has really brought out the best in him. You can see the answer. It is difficult, but we're just learning them. So today we learned them. Tomorrow you'll get them perfect. The next one is don't let him take advantage of you. The answer is take advantage of you is correct. After 20 years of marriage, they took each other for granted. Took each other for granted is correct. I took it for granted you'd come. I took it for granted you'd come is correct. She immediately took blank at the situation. She took control of the situation. His words took blank away. His words took my breath away. To take your breath away is surprise you.
My breath away.
Take your breath away. Remember the 80s song? With Tom Cruise in the background from Top Gun?
Top Gun. Yeah.
She loves taking care of children. We know that's correct. We don't even have to look it up. We took part in a demonstration. That's correct. We don't even have to look it up. Story takes place. That's correct. Last two. He doesn't seem to take blank in his work. Take pride in his work. Mother always takes everything in her blank. In her stride. Stride is the way you walk. To take everything in her stride. Okay. Out of this list, oh, look at that. We've got Alan. Didn't even see you come in, Alan. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Oh, very good, very good. So listen, I want to do the same thing. I want you to adopt one expression each. Look at these and pick one that's the most difficult. Yuki, which expression are you going to adopt for our speaking activity?
I think most difficult one is uh, um,
Take your breath away. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry. Take last one. Mother always takes everything in her stride.
Okay, good. So for Yuki, take in stride. For Ishmael, I want you to adopt a phrase here. Pick one that's especially difficult, because I'm going to force you to use it later on, so you're going to have an extra chance.
Brought to a head.
Good. Brought to a head. That's a good one. Alessia, pick one.
John, could you choose for me? Because every form is difficult.
I don't know what's difficult for you. Only you can choose. I can't choose for you. Pick one that you never heard before, Alessia. Pick one you never heard before.
Take pride in.
Good. Good one. Because we use it a lot. Take pride in. Alan, out of this list that we just, out of this practice list of phrasal verbs, I'd like you to choose one phrasal verb or expression that you've never heard before. Choose one.
We think it is take each other for granted.
Take for granted. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Your microphone is very, very low. I can barely hear you, but I think you said take for granted. Okay. Very good. Keep those in mind. Now, in the last week, we did a little work. So we did this exercise last week. We did not do this. What I want you to do is to create, some people call this a ripple diagram. That's okay. It makes sense. Like when you throw a rock into a lake, it creates ripples. The ripples get bigger and bigger as you go out. So I want you to look at this diagram, and I want you to add a ripple to the diagram from memory. Now, a ripple. Ripple is those circles that go out when something makes an impact, like in water. You throw it in the water and the ripples go out. So, for example, one has been done for us. If the key word is take, sorry. What happened to my ripples? 1 second. I went back. Whoops, sorry, hold on. 1 second. There we go. If the key word is take, everyone, you could say take on, and you could say take on staff. That means to hire staff. I want you each to add one ripple based on the phrasal verbs with take that we learned at the beginning of class. Okay?
Okay.
So, who's first?
Take, maybe I'll try.
Go for it.
Take over my father's job.
Good. I don't have a lot of space, so I'm going to say take over a company. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot of space, so I've got to keep it small. Take over a company. To me, that sounds perfect. Take over a company. So take over a company, take on staff. Who's next?
Aggressive takeover.
Say again?
There was a word I couldn't remember. We use for unwanted takeover for company, John. Aggressive takeover.
Hostile takeover.
Hostile takeover.
That's right. That's right. A hostile takeover, like this. That's right. When one company assumes ownership of another company. Okay, we still got take off, take up, and take two. So Ishbal, you've got to give us a ripple here.
Take off a shirt, clothes.
Take off your clothes. I hope you're not talking to me.
Take off airplane.
Take off from the ground. Absolutely. take off from the airport. Let's do it like that. Take off from the airport. Let me move this over a little bit. Okay, good. That's it. Okay, Alessia, your turn. We've got up and to, or you can always add a new one to one of the ones we've already done. What do you think, Alessia?
I think that's a big problem for me.
So look,
Really, I don't have idea.
think back to the beginning of the class. I don't want you to invent. You can use a sentence we already learned. It's okay. How did we use take two? Do you remember?
No.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I know.
What can we take up? What can we take up? I'll give you a hint. Here's what I'll do. I'll tell you the meaning. You try to. Wait. Hold on a second. Wait. Let's give her a chance. Let's give her one chance before we. Listen, Alessia.
Yeah.
How about this? How about this? To form an immediate liking to. That's what take two means. To form an immediate liking to. So I want you to add a ripple to take to.
him?
Take to him, exactly. The young child took to him quickly. That's it. That's very good. That's it. Alan, there's one for you. You weren't in the beginning of class, but don't worry. I'm going to give you a definition. You see if you can add the ripple to the chart for take up. The definition for take up is start a hobby. Start something new. So what ripple would you add to the chart?
Take up dribbling class.
Take up, yeah. Take up, for example, take up a language.
Okay.
Rather than class, because class, you join a class. But something new might be learning a new language. So take up a language.
Yes.
It says here, sorry, go ahead, Alan.
Just say thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, this is something that you could do on your own very easily. And in fact, I actually created one of these for you that you can interact with. At the end of class, I'll give you a link to it. Okay? But for now, we're going to move on. Give me just a second here. Whoops, hang on. 1 second. All right. Come on, page. There we go. I want you to reword the sentences using expressions from C. What is C? Oh, C is those expressions we saw earlier. Now, these ones are really difficult. I think this was C. Right? Brought to force, bring to light, bring to a head, bring out in the open, bring out the best in someone, take advantage of, take for granted, take control, take your breath away, take care of, take part, take place, take pride, and take in stride. So those are that's the source of the exercise. Let's go back and see if you're able to figure these out. The story of the film happens in Casablanca during the war. What do you think? Who wants it?
What are you going to do, John?
Take place. The story of the film takes place in Casablanca during the war.
Correct. Is that clear, Ishmael? We're just rephrasing the sentence.
Okay.
Okay? Today's newspaper has revealed some fascinating information about the Prime Minister.
Bring out.
Brings
Bring to light.
Ah, brings to light. Oh, that's better. Brings to light. Yeah, because it's from that third set. It's not a phrasal verb. I should make that clear. These are not phrasal verbs. Now they're expressions. So it's the third set of vocabulary. The situation reached a crisis point when the union called for a strike.
Bring about the head.
Bring to a head.
Bring to a head.
Oh, why won't it let me do that? Hold on a second. I lost my page. So the situation was brought to a head. Was brought to a head. How does she always manage to be so calm?
Bring, take into the pride.
Take
String.
in
String.
stride.
Stride.
How does she always manage to take every, I guess it's everything?
Take everything in stride.
In stride. There you go. That's it.
Was it what was a stride, John?
Stride is the
Walking.
length of your foot when you walk. So if you have long legs, you'll have a long stride.
Wow.
In other words, it means you don't have to change your routine. Like you don't have to run, you don't have to slow down, you don't have to jump, you can just keep on trucking, right? Take it in stride. You don't break your speed or change your step.
The step. Yeah.
It's a step, yeah. Stride is a step. Number 5, the view from the place was astonishing. This one, I don't know if you're going to get it. It's a little bit, you have to really play with the expression here.
To take your breath away.
Yuki says take your breath away. Ishmael, what do you say? Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Take my breath away.
Take my breath away.
The view from the place took my breath away. It's correct. Number 6, he capitalized on her weakness at a time, and she sold it to him. He capitalized on her weakness at the time, and she sold it to him. That means he kind of tricked her. He kind of fooled her in some way.
What does this sentence mean, Jon-Eric? I couldn't understand.
To capitalize means
Pay money?
that no, it doesn't mean that. It means that he's going to do something. It doesn't mean money. He's going to do something that is in his own favor and that is not in her favor.
Take
right?
advantage.
Say again?
Take advantage of.
He took advantage of her. He took advantage of her at the time. He took advantage of her at the time. It works. It works. Is there another choice?
And
Or is that it?
what does she sold it to him mean?
It means she probably owned a car or a house, and she was fooled. She was fooled by him.
Okay.
But listen, take advantage of her. It's okay. It's good. But there's probably a better choice because we had another expression that means to be deceived. Do you remember the other one?
Maybe took control of.
Nah, that's too literal. He didn't take control of her. Too literal.
To exploit.
To take advantage of it is to exploit. That's true. He took advantage of her, exploited her. If we go back to our list,
Take
in. That's right. Take in is an even better choice. He took her in at the time, and she sold it. He took her in. Because the original expression was, where was it? I don't remember where it is. I lost the page. Let me go back. She was completely taken in by him. She was completely taken in by him. He took her in. I have to be a little bit careful because he took her in could mean that he brought her to his house. So I've got to actually, to make it sound better, I've got to make it passive. She was taken in. She was taken. Yeah, deceived. She was taken in by him. Okay, last two. The main function of a nurse is to look after the sick. Oh, that's easy.
To bring up.
No? That would mean to raise. Not to raise.
To look after.
Not look after. Try again. That's okay, but there's a better one. Look after. To
Take care of.
take care of is correct. Take care of. Last one. You shouldn't assume that anybody or anything will always be the same.
Assume. Take it for granted.
That's it. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't take it for granted.
Or you shouldn't take for
that-
granted that.
that.
Yeah, that's it. Very good. That's it. That's it. That's all of them. All right. Now that you've got all of those, here's your challenge. I'm gonna
Take
skip-
it for granted. It is needed.
You don't need it. No, you don't.
No
You shouldn't.
for granted.
You shouldn't take for granted that anyone or anything will always be the same. You don't need it. Not you can put it, but you can also do without. You can have it both ways.
In need, there is no need. Ed. Granted. Take for granted.
Oh, the ed. Sorry, it's a typo. Sorry. Yes. Take for granted. Yes, you're right. Okay, the next question part, we're going to skip that. Okay, here's your challenge. I want you to tell me a story with your phrasal verbs. I want you, remember we all adopted 2 words. Alan only adopted 1, but the rest of us adopted 2. So what I want you to do is to tell this story by forcing yourself to use one of your adopted words. Let's review the adopted words. Yuki's adopted words are bring out and take in stride. Ishmael is bring off and bring to a head. Alessia's adopted words are bring down and take pride in. Alan's adopted expression is to take for granted. Now, your challenge is to tell this story using your phrasal verbs. That's your challenge. Are you up to the challenge? Can you do it?
Could you repeat again, Jon-Eric?
Ready.
Repeat what? Everything is in the chat window, Ishmael. You're going to tell this story as a group. We're going to tell this story.
Okay.
But you must use your adopted phrasal verbs. And Ishmael, in the chat window, you can see bring off was yours and bring to a head. Those were your 2 adopted words. Okay? So, let's start together. Alessia, you've been way too quiet. Look at the first box. What happens? How does our story begin?
My grandfather.
Good. He looks kind of young to be a grandfather, but okay. Is that guy your grandfather?
No, but it's.
Oh, okay. You're telling the story. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Let's start like this. Once on a time, because it's a story. What happens in the first box?
In the first box, he is thinking about an invitation.
Is he thinking or remembering?
Maybe he remembering an invitation from Johnny?
Right. From Tony Hudson. But wait a second. That's true. He remembers. But what's he doing in that box? I know it's a little hard to see. What's he actually doing?
He take off.
What's he sitting in front of, Alessia? What's he sitting in front of, Alessia? Forget about your phrasal verbs. What's he sitting in front of?
That's the problem.
No, forget about your phrasal verb. Don't worry about it. What's the
Bring
man
down?
doing? Alessia, listen,
Yeah.
listen. Forget the phrasal verb for box 1. Don't worry. What is the man looking at in box 1? What's he looking at? Can you see?
Yeah.
TV.
TV. Yeah.
It's TV?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
TV.
I think it was a furniture.
He is
No.
watching television.
Once upon a time,
Once upon a time, a man is watching television. Then he suddenly remembered he was invited to the party.
and then he suddenly remembered he was invited to
To a party
he invited to a party. Yeah, you're right.
from Tony.
Invited. He was invited to Tony's party.
It already began.
Okay. In fact,
He,
I'm gonna post this for you in a second.
he
In
knows
fact,
that it already began.
it had already begun. Okay, very good. That's it. By the way, we're going to do this box by box. So in the chat window, you can see Yuki's introduction. Once upon a time, a man was watching TV, and then he suddenly remembered he was invited to Tony's party. In fact, it had already begun. Now, in boxes 2 to box 12, you've got to try. You can say whatever you want, but you must use one of your adopted words. You've got to find a way to use it. So who wants to take box number 2?
Me?
Go for it, Ishmael. Now remember, you can say more, but you must include your keyword, okay? You can say whatever you want, but you must include your keyword somewhere.
He has not much time to get ready for the party. The things brought to a head.
Very good. Very good.
To a head.
He okay, how about this one? So, what was brought to a head? Finish that thought. That's the right idea. You got it. What was brought to a head, Ishmael?
He had many things to do, and he didn't have enough time to get ready for this important party. Everything brought to a head.
Okay, very good. That's it.
To solve this problem.
Okay, so I'm gonna just condense that just a little bit. He didn't have much time to get ready for this important party. So everything was brought to a head. Now it would sound good if we add a little bit more information to that. Everything was brought to a head when what happened? When he tried to get dressed fast. Yeah. And realized he was getting later and later. Okay. I added a little bit of information because when we say brought to a head, we need to know why. So I added a reason. Okay, our story is pretty good so far. Once upon a time, a man was watching TV when he suddenly remembered he was invited to Tony's party. In fact, it had already begun. He didn't have much time to get ready for this important party, so everything was brought to a head. Very good job, Ishmael. Everything was brought to a head when he tried to get dressed and realized he was getting later and later. Okay, so we've covered box 2 and 3. Let's see if we can do 4 and 5. Who wants 4 and 5? Yuki, you want it?
Okay. 3 or 4? Yeah?
Yeah,
four,
because we got getting dressed, so we're gonna go on to 4 and 5.
he quickly went out of the home, and he get into his car,
Into his car, not the machine.
and he get start the engine, but it turned out to vain.
It turned out what?
It turned out no use. It turned out no use.
There is no petrol.
Ah, okay. It was empty.
Empty.
Wait a second, Yuki. Don't forget your key words. Your key words were bring out and take in stride.
I know, but I can't find a chance to use.
You can right here. You got a perfect chance to use take in stride. It's perfect. He left as quickly as possible and started it up, but it didn't start because it was out of gas. Out of gas. Did he panic, Yuki?
No. In spite of, let me say it, please. In spite of such a accident, he takes everything in his stride.
He took all in stride.
In stride, and he started to go by foot.
And he started to walk.
To walk.
Sounds better. That's great. He took it all in stride. Perfect. Guess what, Alessia? You're up. Are you ready?
Sorry, guys. If it's not a problem for today, I can only hear you and learn because really I don't have nothing intelligent to say in this moment.
All right, it's up to you. It's up to you. Okay, Alan, remember, you're going to try, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy, you're going to try to use your expression. Yours was, what was yours? Take for granted. Ah, that's not so hard. You could do that. So, Alan, let's take a look at, we've got him walking in 5. We got 6 and 7. You can choose one or both. 6 or both 6 and 7. What happens next, Alan?
Because he is out of time, he would like to make a phone call to his partner, the party, because so that he can
let them know?
Let her know. Yes, let her know he will be late. Because but when he's going to take a phone call, but when he got a chance to the phone booth, many people are there, right, waiting for the phone, for the telephone. So after a long time, he reached the telephone booth, but he found.
Well, this is getting to be a novel. It's got to be a short story. How about this one? The beginning is great, but how can you use take for granted? I think you've got a great opportunity. Listen to what you said so far. When he saw how late he was, now I'm going to change some of your expressions a little bit. When he saw how late he was, he wanted to make a phone call to let Tony know how late he would be. But right when he found a public phone, right,
Yes.
there was a line, a lot of people, and the person on the phone did what? Oh, you've got a perfect opportunity to use your adopted phrase here.
Okay. He take it for granted he has
Yeah,
chance to make the phone call, but actually he didn't.
right. He took for granted that a phone would be free, but it wasn't. Okay, I'm going to change it just a tiny bit so it kind of fits with the other part. That's it. We've got a minute or two. I wonder how far we can get with our story. I'll tell you what, because we're at the end of the hour. I'm going to post this for you, and I want you to try to finish with any phrasal verb you like on your own. You can send it to me to correct, or you can bring it to the next class, okay? I'm going to take everything we did, put it together, send it to you, and ask you on your own to finish the story using 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The best answer wins a puppy. Who wants to win a puppy? Everyone likes puppies, am I right?
Yes, I like.
Everyone likes puppies. Okay, this is difficult stuff, so really good job, everyone. Really good job. I'm going to send that to you, and the great thing about this is once the story is finished, all you have to do is remember the story, and you will remember your phrasal verbs and expressions. So when it's done, all you have to do is retell the story, compare it to the original. It's because it's a lot easier to remember stories than it is to remember individual words. So that's going to be our technique. In the next Grammar Garage, we're going to do another set of phrasal verbs, but we're going to go back and review our story for this one, okay? I'll send that to you as a homework soon. I've got to go. I'll be back tomorrow morning bright and early for, I don't know what. I think it's Hot Topics at 10 a.m. Bye for now, everyone. Very good job. See
Thank
you
you for
soon.
Bye,
class.
John. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
John.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, see you.
See you.